Hello everyone, how you going, and welcome back to What Could Go Wrong, the place that, as it says, it is just the best place to learn what not to do. Just forget any of these posts or look at any of the things that these people do and just go, yeah, that is definitely an example of what not to do. So I guess in saying that, let's just jump straight in and look at what can go wrong. Starting right off with what could go wrong driving a truck illegal for residential streets in New York City. Oh, don't tell me he's just going to be completely sandwiched or something. Oh no. Oh, wow, wait, I guess I said it was illegal, so it is his fault, but look at the amount of damage. Oh, just watching this is just, oh my goodness, that poor car. Just look here at all that damage he's already caused with. I imagine this corner, oh my goodness. I mean, I guess they did say that being a semi down any of these streets in New York City is completely illegal, but at the same time, you know, whether he's got lost or whatever the reason is for him being down that street in the first place, I just feel so bad for the guy. And oh man, what is he taking out of the front? Oh, is that a fire hydrant? Has he popped a hydrant or something? Oh, wow, he's actually lucky that it's not in service because the amount of water that then would have gone over, and all of this just due to the fact that he's been asked to get to, I don't know, some random inaccessible place, you know, regardless of the fact that he's not even allowed to be down there because of whatever reasons. I imagine turning circle is definitely one of them, but he's obviously ended up down there somehow, you know, whether it be just by getting lost or getting wrong directions or whatever it may be. It's just such a shame, but man, that car is absolutely destroyed. And really, if we look at the end here, because this semi-trailer is just going to be completely made out of solid steel, you know, it's basically just a shipping container, there's going to be virtually no damage on that trailer compared to this car, which has just been demolished. Like, look at all the scratches and that massive gouge here. Where was it? Look how deep that corner has gone. That is almost just an impressive that it's managed to carve its way through that car. I mean, in saying that though, it's obviously the driver's fault as well. It's not even just that he's been given wrong directions. He's obviously driven down there and, you know, he didn't go, actually, I don't think I'm allowed to be down here. I really don't think I'm going to make that turn. And just kind of wait a second and assess the situation. No, he just decided to completely demolish the car and then come over here and do that to his front of his truck. So yeah, I guess that's a tricky situation to be in, and maybe it's on a deadline as well, so it's all those kind of things you got to consider with trucks. But man, I do not envy truck drivers in any city, let alone New York City. What could go wrong being too close to the holy fire? Oh no, wait, is that his hair? That looks so close to his hair. Oh no. Oh, just waiting in to say, oh no, he did set his hair on fire. My goodness, at least he said completely unsafe. And then look, yeah, just bring it over here, mate. Don't be saying that again. Because look, it's not as though he suddenly just went, okay, I'll go and hold it at arm's length. No, he eventually just put it straight back in the same spot. Till this guy's just like, nah, mate, I did well enough to not break out of character the first time. I'm not doing it again. But oh man, you'd be so embarrassed when you're just kind of holding the candle. He obviously wasn't really concentrating on the fact that there is fire right in front of his face. But man, would it be a story at school when you go, what did you do to your hair? Did a goat eat your hair? Well, what kind of haircut do you call that? And then you go, actually, no, I burnt it at church. But no, really, obviously it's good that he seemingly got it completely unharmed. But if we have a look at this, you know, it definitely lights up a decent chunk of his head. And really, I think my favorite part of this video, along with all the other hair on fire videos, is just how long it takes people to realize, you know, let's have a look. He lights his head now, and then it takes it like, what? That was at least 3 seconds between his hair catching on fire and then him actually noticing, you know. I feel as though the priest, who isn't even looking in the right direction and is a little bit distracted at the moment, notices at the exact same time he does. So I don't know, what's more impressive? The fact that he was completely uninjured, or the fact that the priest saved him from having to go board for a little while? What could go wrong lobbing a chair at the dump? Alright, so we got security footage of, I imagine, what is kind of a drop-off center. I don't know if they have these all over the world, but I definitely used many in my time. You know, it might be recycling one week and then green waste another week. Oh, I can see what's going to happen. He's facing backwards. No. What? That even went even worse than I expected. I thought what was going to happen, he was actually going to try and chuck it up over his head, and then it just wasn't going to make it into the skip and then just tip back and come back down on him. Not that he wouldn't even make the throw in the beginning. Like, really, this is one of the worst attempts of a chair throw I think I've ever seen. It looks as though he just got the chair legs caught in his own legs or something like that, but man, is that just an absolute failure of a throw. I don't have any audio, but I wonder if he made some kind of because this guy just goes, hang on, what's going on over there? And also just the fact that how long it takes for him to really do something. Look, ready? He notices 0, 1, 2, 4, 5. It's about 4 or 5 seconds before he even moves, let alone just a casual stroll over there. I mean, I guess the guy does seem alright. It doesn't seem as though he's majorly injured or anything. Obviously, his entire ego would have just come crumbling down with one foul swoop, or I guess actually one foul throw. But no, that is just so horrible. I imagine they would have been like, yeah, just don't worry about it. Just leave it over there. We'll put it in some other time. Just don't do it. And then he's gone, no, it's alright. I'll put it in. Walked over with his chair, gone to chuck it backwards over his head for whatever reason that is, you know. I mean, I guess he's trying to get that kind of cantilever catapult assault kind of situation going, because he's obviously not very confident in his ability to just kind of chuck it over. I mean, it is a fairly high skip, but I really think he should have maybe reconsidered his approach here, because that is just one of the worst fails I've ever seen. I think the saddest part about the whole situation is just this little jump that it makes him do, is that it just sweeps his feet from underneath him. But these are the kind of reasons and the kind of videos that I just love having security cameras for, you know? You might argue that we're just way too many cameras in under surveillance everywhere you go, but at the same time, you're also getting golden moments like this, so man, that's just great. He certainly won't be attempting anything like that again. What could go wrong? Pressing the brake pedal at the last moment with unsecured load. Oh, I know what's going to happen. We have seen plenty of other videos and images of what can go wrong when that happens. Oh my goodness. Oh my, what? Wow, that has to be the worst one I've ever seen. I think it's just the fact that that steel plate looks as though it's on wheels or something, just the way it just continues to roll out of there. I mean, perhaps it's on some packing or dunnage or whatnot, so you can actually fork it on and off, but still, just the amount of momentum that carried through. And really, the post didn't say anything about the driver, but from that video, if we watch this again, look at that. Like, yeah, at first it looks as though it kind of would have been alright, because if we look at this, you know, it almost looks as though it just would have gone underneath, but just the fact that it then flips it over and just kind of steamrolls it, that is just absolutely insane. But yeah, like I said, the post didn't say anything about the driver, so I'm only going to assume that they were alright. Yeah, I feel as though this sub generally doesn't cater towards the worst case scenario for these kind of videos and posts. But man, once again, I just do not envy truck drivers. Obviously, this isn't kosher and the correct way to go about things, but still, just the fact that you can have a massive thing behind you, and if you have to emergency brake for whatever reason, whether it be for a traffic light or some kid runs across the road or something, you might be putting your own life in danger, let alone everyone else on the road. Because hey, that's just what things with momentum do, you know. That's why they're saying cars, when you're putting stuff in the back, don't stack it above the back seats or whatever, because anything back there that is above that just becomes an absolute missile if you have to emergency stop. So yeah, I guess like I say every time we see these posts, just strap your loads down, both cars and trucks. What could go wrong leaving the groceries on the floor? The now common grocery delivery. Hasn't that kind of business just absolutely exploded? Oh, he went, oh, you're kidding. Mate, you should just have a 3-wheel trolley and then you'll be right. Look at him, he is not happy chappy. He's at a whole huff just because he would have had to take his trolley up the stairs. Really, you have one job and it is to deliver the groceries, and they can't even do that. But I guess that's kind of like oh no, the seagulls. Oh no, I didn't know what I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't birds. I was actually thinking that someone was just going to come along and steal it. Not that all the birds were just going to get into the shopping. At least this guy has this actual video to show what the problem was, because I can only imagine it's kind of common sense to not just leave things out where birds can get it, you know, let alone an area where there are seagulls, because seagulls, it is absolutely ruthless, you know. They've been trained for generations to be absolute scavengers of the seas, whether that be stuff off old ships or now chips. They just absolute masters to getting into stuff, so of course they get into that. But really, what is it about delivery guys and just always living up to their name about how bad they are? You know, we always see the American Post where you see the UPS or FedEx or whatever else there is, you know, just absolutely pegging parcels at the front door from the road. And now we have this guy, which from the sound of it sounded as though he's British. I'm fairly sure that was a British accent I just heard, as well as all the birds and kind of the seagulls coming out of nowhere. You know, other countries have seagulls, but I feel as though only in the UK would you have a place that is this green and also by the sea. But anyway, hopefully this guy was able to get a refund or whatnot, because obviously that's not your fault, you know, regardless of whether it's the other guy's fault or not. It is definitely not your fault that the birds got into your groceries, because I would have thought that within the delivery notes that you would have specified, yes, I have stairs, but actually please take it up them because otherwise this happens. But hey, anyway, I'm sure one of his bosses would have shown him exactly what can go wrong. I will let my cat sniff the whole pot of cat crack. What could go wrong? What is that? I have never heard about this before, so I have no idea what it is, but I imagine by the name and also the reaction of the cat, but it is certainly something that the cat is after. It is just absolutely unable to get his head out of the pot. Look at that. The owner is just absolutely trying her darndest to get the cat out of it, and it is not having any of it. Look, it's got 2 claws just buried into her hand. Meanwhile, it's just burying its head as far into the pot as possible. Like I said, I've never even heard about this, so I have no idea what it is. I imagine based off the kind of the texture or whatever it is, maybe it's grind up fish or whatnot. But just the fact that the cat is just unable to let go of it. Look at that. Like she says, just the claws are just completely digging in, and it just doesn't even care. It's just going for it while it can. You know, maybe it's just already addicted. It's going, I don't know if I'm ever going to get this again, so I better make the best of it while I can. You know, it's literally finding its owner right now, so it's going, oh, maybe I just won't ever have a chance again. I mean, I guess generally cats don't really care what their owners think about them, but it really just does show you how much that product lives up to its name. It's going to be stealing money from your handbag, maybe even your cards, going online, ordering it behind your back. But, you know, you get a parcel a week, you go, what is this? And you put it on the counter and the next morning it's just gone. So this lady's really going to have to watch out for this cat, because it has a long road ahead of it now. I've been restoring some old snowmobiles at my brother's cottage on the weekends for a few months. This one was 99% ready to ride, except for an issue with the brakes rubbing and getting extremely hot. Told my brother not to ride it until I fixed the brakes. He didn't listen. What could go wrong? Oh my goodness. Even though the thumbnail kind of gave it away, that is an intense fire. I can can only imagine it's kind of a petrol fire as well. But man, just the fact that it's just gone up in flames from just the brakes overheating, that is crazy. They certainly didn't have carbon ceramics on that baby, did they? But man, you just be so annoyed at your brother, you know, you just go, please do not ride this, it will overheat. Even though you probably weren't expecting it to go completely up in flames, it would certainly just completely burn out the brakes at least. But I wouldn't think you would expect it to completely combust like that. But no, just the fact that it was your project and you've told him not to ride it, and then he goes and does that to it, you'd just be so bummed and annoyed all in one. I mean, you can just see the brother's gone, oh, it's snowing, I'll just take the one that's 99% done, no worries, and then that happens. I can only imagine how reluctant your brother would have been to call you and go, look, I know you told me not to, but it's kind of up in flames. So actually, I guess this is more so just a lesson about what can go wrong when you just don't listen to people that might know a little bit more than you. Regardless of whatever your opinion is, thinking that they're right or wrong, maybe just caught one on the chin and go, hey, I guess I just won't be doing this. Because really, otherwise, something like that can happen, and that is certainly not a phone call or even a situation that I would ever want to deal with. What could go wrong having a giant blood sticker on your car? Ah, yes, just this classic photo, you know, I've seen this so many times. I have no idea how old this image is, but it just never gets old. The fact that they've been completely pulled over, because man, does that look gruesome, you know? You only ever see a vehicle looking like that in, I don't know, a GTA or Mad Max, you know? I certainly know if I saw a completely white car driving down the road with just a red blood splatter on it, I would certainly have to do a double take and go, hang on, did I just see what I think I saw? Surely they must have dropped a can of red paint or something. There is no way it is actually what I think it is. But no, just the fact that they've been pulled over by the police and the police are going, hey, come on now, this really isn't something that we can just have cruising our street. I mean, but wait a minute, they are BMW drivers, so they do technically own the road. You know, obviously police have a certain level of jurisdiction over the roads, but really, BMW drivers are basically just the CEO of the roads. But no, like I said, I did see this photo years ago, and I always wondered if they got fined or what actually happened to this car, you know? I can only imagine they had to get the wrap or the stick or whatever it is removed, but I feel as though if that is in New South Wales and you got pulled over, you get like a grand fine, no worries. That's 6 demerit points, and they might even just arrest you for all the charges that might come along with doing something like that. So yeah, I guess even though it is kind of a prank on everyone driving past, maybe not the best thing to go around showboating about. And so now finally for the top of what could go wrong. What could go wrong if I break into this house? A 2-minute video. Oh no. He's trying to actually smash down the door. Look at that. He's got a full crowbar. At least he's kind of come prepared. He's got orange gloves on. He's got a crowbar. I don't know anyone that has the safety glass front door, so that's kind of impressive, but he seems to be certainly struggling with getting it down. Meanwhile, the owner is obviously just filming the whole thing going, you moron. You're causing so much more trouble for yourself than it's even worth. You know, you might even go, I have nothing in here for you, mate. I don't have jewelry. I don't have gold bars. There's nothing for you. Why are you even trying to break in? I mean, but to be fair though, he's kind of wearing the ultimate marble disguise of just wearing a hat and whatnot. You know, they prove in every second movie that that is the disguise you want if you want no one to recognize you. Oh no, and the cops turn up. Look at him. Oh my goodness, they sent the whole squad. Look at that. They obviously just rang the police that have just been filming and waiting for them to turn up. I wonder if they kind of even gave them delivery notes about, okay, when you approach, don't have your sirens on. We want to kind of catch him in the act. And they did exactly that, and they just all rush him and go, hang on, mate, you are gone. You know, they even catch him in the act, fling him around. He was not ready at all. So many of these people get taught lessons, but that is just an absolute life lesson, you know. That guy was just absolutely not prepared for the consequences of his actions, was he? But hey, I guess I kind of have to give a shout out to the cops, you know. There are often sadly too many negative things that police do. They get absolutely spotlighted all over the media and all over online. Whereas you can see these 5 officers just turned up, they dealt with the situation, they didn't seem to hurt him too much. They obviously had to deal with the situation in a certain way, but he definitely seemed alright. But hey, like I said, this guy certainly won't be doing that again, will he? I mean, it will be pretty hard from a jail cell to break into someone's house, but I'm fairly sure he would have learned his lesson about what can go wrong. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top post of what could go wrong, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube and look at things down below. Other than that, like I said, we've seen some of these posts before, so maybe want to check some of our other videos out, or maybe just want to consider subscribing so don't miss another one in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.